As Season 2, The Shattered Visage, comes to a close, we're left with harrowing revelations and more questions than answers. Are you guys ready to break down Season 2, Chapter 37, Relentlessly the Sun Rises, Part 3? Well, let's get started, but first, a message to our heroes of Edera. Hey there, this is Colin, creator of the 7th Valkyrie. If you're hearing this, it means you're listening to the public version of TABTA. And I really appreciate that. It keeps the algorithm happy. It keeps us growing. But if you want to get a little fun personal message every week with behind-the-scenes stories, funny little bits, other insight into the creative process, you can hop over to our Patreon and become a hero of Edera. You'll support the series, you can shape the future of the 7th Valkyrie, and find a whole lot of fun bonus content along the way. You can get started completely for free, and then if you decide you want to chip in and get bonus content, early access, and a whole lot more and help us along the path of heroes towards a whole lot of cool checkpoints, then you can do that. It's patreon.com/7th Valkyrie, that's 7THVALKYRIE, and give it a look. With that, on into the show. Hey, everybody, and welcome to TABTA, the adventure behind the adventure for the 7th Valkyrie, where we watch one series go from total obscurity to maybe 7 seasons in a movie, or maybe we just find the power of friendship along the way. I'm your host, Colin Sharp, creator and current voice of the 7th Valkyrie, and this week we are talking about Relentlessly the Sun Rises, Part 3. Spoilers, spoilers, spoilers. This is the last regular episode in the season. Up ahead of the epilogue next week. So just know that I will be talking about everything in Season 2 except for what happens in the epilogue. So if you haven't heard it, spoilers, you've been warned. And let's start with our first segment inside the episode where we get into what happened and where we're going. And this part picks up right where the previous one did, with Val slashing his own throat, trying to kill himself in a moment of apparent clarity. And then we immediately go into this scuffle where Meridia wrestles Val to a standstill while he is still desperately trying to kill himself. But he's not, for whatever reason, he's not at full Iron Wolfy power. And after minutes, partially because of this moment of clarity that he had, and after minutes on minutes of desperate struggling, he starts to come down, and we see the Val that we know sort of slowly emerging as the beast that is the Iron Wolf melts away. And that leaves Meridia to process what all of this means, sort of for herself, for the Iron Wolf, and this idea of him, for the people of Edera. We learn as they talk that to become the Iron Wolf, Val has to take a ton of drugs. And I mean, he says, like, he took 1 full crystal and used to take 3. So we haven't even seen him at like max drugged up. And while it turns him into a superhuman killing machine, and part of that might be because of tolerance, and while it turns him into a superhuman killing machine, he can barely keep control and would go on rampages, attacking enemies, animals, men, women, long after the battle was won. And none of this was made public for obvious reasons. And Meridia does have a hard time believing it at first, but she's met Val before. Now she's seen him as the wolf, and she's also seen him in the past as the wolf. And it just, having fought alongside him and having seen, kind of the seeds of it, and then seeing how he what he did against the Nightmare in that battle, it's just, there's no more question for her. And now she's faced with a new challenge. With the Machine King threatening Edera and war on the horizon, they need the wolf now more than ever. But what does that mean for her and for Edera? Well, I want to dig a little deeper in our next segment, which we call Outside the Episode, where we talk about some of the behind-the-scenes notes, production thoughts, inspirations, and sometimes just give a little color commentary on and I wanted to break down this moment. We know from the first time we meet her, this is in Slandered Reflection, the chapter called The Slandered Reflection, where Vala first arrives in Reen, that Meridia is dedicated to Edera. She's a member of the Light Corps. She's almost fanatically dedicated to the wolf. But in Season 2, we've gotten to know her even better as someone who is almost always willing to put her own feelings aside in the sake of pragmatism and the greater good. We saw how she held her temper for so long with Yosun, even trying, like, when he was dying, to get answers out of him, and to try and get some information that she could use to save the city. And, for other reasons, like in her willingness to sacrifice herself to protect the city. And she really, so like her values, she knows and puts a lot of her, her sense of truth into this devotion to Edera, and the greater good. And this is shown really, we've seen moments and flashes of how she prioritizes what she believes is good throughout the series, but this is really shown emerging most kind of apparently during her immediate shift after Val's attacked her. Now, at first, she jumps on him and takes the knife away and demands that he doesn't die without giving her an explanation, which is fair and a reasonable instinct, but when he begs her to kill him, something she's threatened to do to him before when he did far less than assault her, she says no. And maybe it's because she's still in commander mode, where you have to put your feelings aside, or she's not just not in the mood to be an executioner. Or what we start to notice is, almost to an extreme, she zeroes in on Val's strategic value, especially because she knows beyond a reasonable doubt that Val is the Iron Wolf. And that changes everything. It makes Meridia's horrifying personal experience into an afterthought for her, because here she is in front of the avenging god that Edera has worshipped for 7 years since the war. And so whether it's for her revenge, for justice, for personal grievance, Meridia decides that killing Val, or letting him kill himself, would actually just be sort of the easy way out for him and leave the rest of them stuck and suffering. And so she delivers to him his sentence, from her, the commander, to him. And his sentence is to carry the weight of the Iron Wolf, all of it and what it means, and to do so trying to save Edera again, or die trying. And she doesn't seem to particularly care how much that destroys him, because she's like, you know what? This is for Edera, and we will do it until Val is dead, and all that remains is the legend of the Iron Wolf. And that leaves us with a lot to unpack and think on, both about their budding partnership as, conspirators against the Machine King, her new role, his place as the Iron Wolf, and what that means for Edera and for everybody else as the season comes to a close. And I can guarantee you we'll explore all of that and much, much more in Season 3, which I have not announced the title for. But anyway, the final chapter of Season 2, The Shattered Visage, has come to a close, but there's one last piece of the puzzle to come. Make sure that you guys tune in for the epilogue next week to Burn It All, which is coming down the pipeline on Friday. Or you can hop onto Patreon, become a hero of Edera, finish the season now, get ahead on the listen along, and be totally primed for a super early drop of Season 3 when it comes out. Anyway, whatever you guys are doing, whatever you guys are at, take care, love you all, and have a great one.